Hi everyone, welcome to another live card session. Today's cards are going to be super easy, like so easy you're not even gonna believe it. And you're gonna be like, well, why didn't you tell me about all of these easy ways to make cards earlier? But I promise, even though it may be a little bit late, it's great for last minute cards. And this card design is going to be great for any kind of cards, actually. So let me get this shared over if I can, because for some reason, let's see if that'll let me. Oh my gosh, remember when we used to have that trouble sharing? Well, now it's giving it to me again. Let's try this. I'm waiting for it to update so that it can give me the opportunity to do what I need to do. Let's see here. I need to get this video and then I need to share it. And I'm trying to see where it's giving me the share option. So I hope everybody's had a good weekend so far. It was a quick one, but we've got Thanksgiving week coming upon us now. So hopefully you're getting ready for that. And this is not going to do what I want it to do. So hopefully we'll just get this done and I can share it to the group after the fact. So, okay. Hey, Christy. Hello, Karen, Krista. I pulled out a few inks to work with today. I've got raspberry, green apple, clover, candy apple, intense black, and sapphire. And I also pulled out 3 different patterned papers from our 2 current collections. This is from the Jingle Joy collection. This is from our Mix In pattern paper. And this is from the Comfort and Joy collection. And they are each cut at 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall, which, guess what? That's exactly the size of your card. So let me pull out my cardstock. And so this is how easy these cards are going to go. You're just going to cut that paper so it fits the front of the card. Nothing fancy, no layering, nothing extra. Just straight patterned paper to cardstock, patterned paper to the card front. Okay, there's one. No fancy cuts at all. You can definitely do this in batches. And you can definitely get your kids to help because these are super easy to do. And you can decide how much extra you want to add to it or how simple you want to keep it. So there's your 3 cards. I've got some white daisy cardstock cut at 4 1/2 wide by 2 inches tall. Right? Now, this is white on a white background. It's like, oh, you need a little something. So all we have to do is get either some shimmer trim or some cardstock, and we can just put a little bit above and below so that it'll set it off. On here, this works great as straight to the pattern paper because there's a big contrast between the blue and the white. And then this one, it's totally a different color. Here you've got these dark red and green colors, and then you've got this bright pop of white. But you can also back that with something darker, or either the green or the red, to kind of help tone it down before you add your sentiment. And then of course, anything else you want to add, some ribbon, some string, your sentiment, die cuts, so anything like that. So let's start with this card, and I'll pull out just a little bit of green. And I happen to have a piece of clover green right here, and it is 4 1/4 wide. And so I'm just gonna cut it. I'm just gonna cut 2 pieces at 1/2 inch, so I don't have to put the whole thing. So I can just put a strip up top and a strip down below. I don't have to back the whole thing. Okay, so let's do that. Before I do that, let's stamp our sentiment, and then we'll put it together. So let me show you this cute stamp set. I got it back in the summer. There was a flash sale with Close to My Heart. It's called Santa's Coming, and it's this 2-tone stamp. I don't think it's available right now. I don't know. I honestly haven't looked for it. I got it back when it was available. I put it in my stash, and I just found that I have it. So what it does is it stamps like half the word, and then you stamp the other half of the word in a separate color. So it gives like a 2-tone effect. And so we're going to try it for the first time, see how it looks. And also, since I pulled out the raspberry, because it's in pinks. I pulled out the clover because I thought the candy apple might be too bright, so I wanted a little something more traditional. So let's see. Let's start with the raspberry. And we're just gonna, you know what? Oops. I'm gonna stamp it down towards the bottom, and I'm gonna trim off a little bit off the top. See, you can only see part of the wording right there. That's what happens when you get too close to the cardstock and you're not ready. Now I've got the clover here. I'm just inking that up. So this is where you've got to, be sure that you're lining it up really well. There we go. So you see the green and the red kind of supposed to match up. Okay. I'm not concerned that it's not exactly perfect. I think it's cute to be a little off like that. And once I put it on the green cardstock like that, it'll work itself out. Now, probably a little something you could add. Let's see, this gnome's gnome for Christmas. I want to use this little candy cane, and maybe use, I wish I had a candy, this little present. I just want to have a little something extra to add on the sides. You could totally leave it just like that. I'm just going to show you so you have an option if you want to add a little more. And I'm going to do the candy cane and the raspberry. And just some scrap piece of cardstock. And then, let's see here. The present. Will the present even fit? I'd have to put him down low. Or what if I just do two candy canes? Let's do that. So this is where you can just decide how you want to embellish and do as much or as little as you want. Let's put our card together. My glue. Okay. I'm going to put my adhesive on the back of the white piece. And then just using the grid marks and try and line it up. Should be about even. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, especially if you're doing this with kids, you want to have fun. And you just want to make the Christmas cards easily. There we go. And just a little fussy cutting. Of course, these do come with thin cuts. So depending on what you get, but I think it's just as easy for me to cut these out. They're not any super intricate shapes. See, I can just add one up here. Problem is that the second one is also the same shape. It's not the mirror image, so I can't exactly mirror anything. It's kind of just gonna have to go like that. It's fine, especially if you are having little hands help you. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. And in that vein, I'm just going to do it flat instead of the foam tape. But depending on what you are using, you could totally use foam tape. There you go. You can even add some shimmer, some stickles. You could do some sort of embossing. You could do some dots, anything to kind of just fill this in, but you could keep it simple and have a cute card that's ready to go. Okay, card number 1, let's set that aside. Card number 2, let me put all of this, get all of this out of my way, all these stamp sets. I've got football going on in the living room, as you can probably hear. So, let's clean these off. I want y'all to know that I'm trying to keep good habits, and I'm trying to get you to have good habits as well, to clean the stamps before you put them away. And be careful when you're taking your stamps off your blocks that you don't pull them too hard. Or pull it from a vulnerable area and then it causes it to tear, because that can happen. And you will not be very happy that you tore your stamp. Although it won't affect the quality of the stamp. It'll still stamp. Okay. Move these blocks aside. I'll move that aside. Okay, so now we got our blue snowflake, and I think for that one, I'd like to use the sentiment from this stamp. It says, "May the joy and wonder of the season be yours." And it's gonna just barely fit. And then from this other stamp set, I want to use this big old snowflake. Now, obviously the snowflake, oh, it is gonna fit. Yay, I was afraid I was gonna be a little off. Okay. So for these, I want to use the sapphire ink and just put that on a block. Let me stamp the snowflake first. I think that kind of just feels like it needs to go first. And I can do this one here and the sentiment on this side. There we go. Nice and bright blue. And now we'll get our sentiment ready. I don't want them to feel too disjointed, so I'm going to move this a little bit closer. And then I'm going to just kind of sneak in a little bit like of the edge of a snowflake. There we go. Close that up. Clean off our stamps. Oop, and my work surface. Since I did stamp a little bit of ink on there. Let me see. Oh, sorry. So my iPad's not catching my video. So maybe that one will work. Nope. So I'm not seeing who's coming in, but give me a second and I will take a minute to do that. Take off my sentiment and put that back. Let's see. Hi, Livy. Hi, Mom. Hi, Julie. Hi, Melly. Hi, Lily. Okay. I'm making some simple cards today. Now, the other day, I used some silver. Well, it wasn't silver. I used some silver foil. That's really pretty. And we can use it to put behind this as well. I think that silver will set it up actually even better than the foil. I have silver shimmer trim. I have white shimmer trim. Oh, gets even better. Gets even better. Okay. So I'm just gonna take it and apply it straight to the card. Let me just cut it off at the end. And then I can, well, actually, so we see where that's gonna go. Oh no, I cut off all that extra that I had backing, so now I'm gonna have to find that clear end. There we go. Okay, so that's about where we're gonna put our card. And so now I'm gonna put my second strip right there. Cut that off. now we've got some quick, pretty embellishment. And of course, you can put this on foam tape to get it a little bit higher up, or you can just go in for it straight like that. And now you've got another simple card, and it's pretty flat. So they're gonna be easy to mail. They're definitely gonna be easy to do and don't really require any more adhesive different than just whatever tape runner that you have. Okay, so now we've got our third card. It's got this dark background, but a white card. That's that works for me though. I really like that, but I do want to put some red cardstock behind. To set that off. Okay, so here's a nice bright red, and it is only 4 inches wide. Shucks. Okay, let me cut it at 4 1/4. And now this one, I'm just gonna cut at 2 1/4, all the and just mount the whole thing flat like that. So that's gonna give me a nice little just, you know, buffer for that. And then I can pull in some green ribbon so that I can add to that. The sentiment I want to use is this: have a holly jolly Christmas. And I've been dying to use this pretty poinsettia. So just kind of want to add that in, but obviously it's too big for this little piece. So this I am going to stamp on some extra cardstock. We'll stamp it and we'll even ink it and color it in with marker. But let's get this stamped first, so we'll know what kind of room we have to work with. So I'm going to use the Intense Black. Ink that up really well. Have a holly jolly Christmas. Really pretty. These are some older stamp sets, so I've had them in my stash for a while. But I mean, really, the gist of what I'm trying to show you here is how to make some simple cards. You can use the whatever, you know, sentiment or paper that you have in your stash, a little cardstock, just anything to really get the most out of your arsenal. I'm gonna stamp that and then move this out of the way so I don't get anything dirty. Hold on, I'm getting some markers. I can make do some coloring in here. Let's see, I've got the dark red blend and the dark red shades. Oh, I think the dark red blends is gonna work the best. So I'm gonna start with the leaves. I'm gonna start with the leaves because that's always makes me feel like I've got something, you know, almost finished. And then I'm gonna go to the dark and just kind of do the outside edge. Probably should do that middle vein as well. And then kind of blend it with the medium. Okay. And now let's start the poinsettia. I've been wanting to do this poinsettia for so long, and now I'm a little scared. So I'm going to color it all in with the light shade, and then we'll work in some tones. And unless you're going to take just your sweet time coloring because you want to be very detailed and you want to do all that depth and coloring, that's great. But remember, we're just making easy cards, and so we just want to color these in. This would be a good place where you could use stickers, die cuts, of course. Cricut cuts. Anything, especially if you just had like one embellishment left over from a package of something, or I don't know, a tag, old Christmas cards. You know, you can save those card fronts and maybe punch out, you know, using a circle cutter or something, and cut out, you know, the interesting parts of the cards, or cut them down. And those make great little embellishments as well. They may even make a whole new card front that you can add your own sentiment to. It's a good way to recycle cards. And I'm just adding some shading. Go back to the light side and blend that in. And then as the markers dry, there'll be some more shading. It'll show up better once it starts drying. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna cut these out. And I'm just fussy cutting it pretty close to the line, but not on the line. Not really seeing how much I'm in frame here. So let's say it's after Christmas and you need a birthday card. Same thing applies. Just use your birthday paper. Make your own patterned birthday paper with some cardstock and maybe a similar color ink pad, and then your stamp, just to make a background that's real subtle. And then that way when you put your sentiment on in a bold color, something contrasting, it really stands out. And you don't need that many stamps, right? Whatever you're using for your sentiment, you can use it. You can use it on your stamp as your background and your sentiment. Okay. It's going to go straight across. I'm going to add that just like that, but I do want some of this, and I don't know how I'm going to add it in. I cut it at across. I'm just going to take a little bit longer length, and I make a knot, and the knot, it doesn't matter as long as it's close to the end. And then I just kind of cut it. So I can do that. Oh, that's obviously going to be the way. Okay. What I like about this particular ribbon is that it's pretty flat and it's pretty dense enough, I guess. That's probably not the right word. It's got enough texture to it that it'll take the adhesive. I'm going to cut it straight off because it will stick pretty well. And even if it ravels there at the end, I think that'll just add some nice texture. So I'm just going to add that. So for this, I do want to add some foam tape. Okay. And then just kind of situated. I don't know if the green, ooh, that's pretty. I'm still gonna add one more little bit of fancy using my Stickles glitter for the center of the poinsettia. And that's as fancy as we're gonna get tonight. Okay, so I kept everything pretty simple. You can do with minimal inks, minimal colors, minimal supplies, easy enough to get the kids involved. Oh, this would be great to, while you're making Thanksgiving dinner and you need to keep them busy, they can be making cards. You know, because they're not going to clean their rooms. So there's that card. And here's our other two. Pretty much the same card each time. Just a full back of the pattern paper. And then a white piece of cardstock. And just stamp it. And you can add a little bit of a border to break it up. Whether it's shimmer trim, some cardstock. You know, you can add some ribbon, some stamping that you cut out, a little bit of foam tape, a little bit of stickles, just whatever you want to glitz it up or keep it simple. But very easy to do. You can make a ton of these in no time and have your cards ready to send out because it's just about time to send them out. And I want to encourage you to send out, you know what? I'm going to challenge you to send out 5 Christmas cards, 5 handmade Christmas cards. I challenge you to send them out. And if you need 5 Christmas cards to send out and you don't have the time or the energy cards so that you can send 5 cards out to somebody else, I'll send you 5 cards that I've made, whether it's been the summer or in these last few weeks. I'll be glad to share my cards with you. And you can just sign them on the inside. Send your love to, your family or friends. But I challenge you. And if you promise to send out those 5 cards, I will send you the 5 cards to start with. So that's all I've got for you tonight. I hope you have a great evening. I'm sorry if I didn't say hi to everybody. Hi, Rhonda Sharton. And hi, Mary and Giada. But those are my cards for tonight. Remember, our new live schedule is Wednesdays and Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays. So I will see you for sure on Wednesday. But if I get a little antsy to start making something, maybe I'll come on live tomorrow night. No promises. For sure I'll stick to my schedule. But other than that, I might have some random time this week. Thanks for coming, and we'll see y'all Wednesday. Have a great evening. Have a great week, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.